obviously, next fixture is Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. So, what's your kind of thoughts on that? For me, I feel quite confident for once. First time we've been to Stamford Bridge, and I'm feeling that kind of way. Are you kind of feeling the same, or?
Hollie, how many times in the last few seasons have you been, oh God, we're going to the Bridge? Now, stick another O in there. Oh, good, we're going to the Bridge. So that, what more can you ask? We've, on other shows I've done, and we'd be previewing going to Stamford Bridge and playing Chelsea. You'd go, well, I'd like to see a good performance, and if we can keep it respectable, that's a bit of progress. I can't wait to get there Sunday now. I honestly cannot wait to get there. Listen, we might not win that, but if they do win it, they're either going to get a Ward-Prowse lucky goal somewhere going in. Football's chaos. It's not an exact science. They may get something, or they are going to have to be brilliant. They are going to have to be absolutely brilliant. We're not going to go there and beat ourselves. That was always the problem. Spurs' biggest opponents was always Spurs. We'd go there with that already 1-0 down mentality. Yeah. Now, I think we go there with a totally different mindset. Conte just seems to have shaken that right out of us, to be honest. So it's a tough one to call. But if they do beat us, it's either by luck, a bit of luck, or a bit of brilliance. But they will have to beat us. They will have to beat us. They'll have to be brilliant. We won't go there and roll over. It's as simple as that. So I'm really looking forward to it. And do you know what, Hollie? If we do go there and get a result, there's your marker. There's your line in the sand. And that puts down something to the rest of the league. And, I watched an interview with Thomas Tuchel on Saturday morning with Tubes on Soccer AM. And I like when people like Tubes interview people like Tuchel, because when they get like a Henry Winter in front of them or a Gary Neville, the shields come up and they're very, very careful with what they say. And then they send somebody in like Tubes for a little bit of a light-hearted interview, and the shields come down and they're a little bit more open and a little bit more unguarded. And Tubes was speaking to Tuchel about Chelsea, and he coughed up that they're a little bit in transition, almost to the point of saying it's chaos at the moment with the new owners and not knowing really what's going on. So a great time to play them as well, because they are in transition. They don't look right at the moment. They don't look like Chelsea of old. Funny, isn't it, when you lose somebody bailing you out every week and has to disappear into the med on his boat. What can happen? Nobody seems to want to go there anymore. I can't understand why. So it's a great time for a settled, good team like Spurs to go somewhere like Chelsea, and I really, really fancy us.
I do as well. Go on.
He's listening to this. He's just pulled up in Lanzarote.
I'll take him down a plate of prawns and a cerveza. Go and see if he's all right. Poor lamb.
Oh dear. Oh my. But no, I think I kind of feel quite happy to go there for once. And obviously after the Battle of the Bridge, I hated going to Stamford Bridge. But Emma, I think it's kind of right. I mean, Chelsea only managed to beat Everton 1-0. So now, like Crackers said, is the time to play them.
Yeah, I agree with everything Crackers said. As you said, yeah, they only beat Everton 1-0. I think it is a perfect time to play them. They're, as we were talking about before, they seem to be just spending money on players left, right and centre. And I think they are very much in a transition with their owners, with trying to settle their new players in, with dealing with all the players that have gone. And I think they've almost had to throw some of their new players in because they've lost so many, whereas we've been able to have that strong starting 11 but bring in the new players if we need to rotate. And I think if we're going to beat them at any time, I think it's this weekend. And I think if we can go there, and I do think we've got such a mixture of quality across the pitch. You've got Romero, you've got Richarlison, you've got a number of players who will go in and make those tackles and slide in and give that aggression that you need in a London derby. And I also think you've got those players who are leaders and who are calm heads and who will sort of, I do think it's everything we've been saying. It's coming to be such a cohesive team. And I think if we can go there and just put on all the good things that we've shown in the last sort of few months, then I think, we'll give them a real go. And I think we've got a real good chance.
100%. I love that. I mean, Graham, is that kind of your thoughts as well? I mean, do you want to see Richie put on a performance and scare the living daylights out of Chelsea?
Well, I want to see the front three play first. I think Richarlison. I think the manager might change things about because you got Basuma to come into the team. I love him. That thing he did last year when he was at Arsenal and he stood over the fella laughing. That was the best thing in my life. That was, but that's what Tottenham fans loved, and that's why we got him. But it's not easy place to go, and you can't afford to give silly goals away. If we can keep a clean sheet, we will win the game. And I think Conte will work all week on defence and attack. So, we defend in the team and we attack as a team. I think the two midfield players have to be on their toes because if you give Jorginho space, he will just stroll through the game. You put him under pressure, he's not as good a player as everybody says he is. So, it's a match-up. I think the two midfield players we got at the moment with Basuma, whoever the two of those three play, they can match up. And I'm quietly confident because of what we did on Saturday. It wasn't a one-off Saturday. We could have won 6 or 7. We could have had Saturday, so we know we can score goals. We just got to start keeping clean sheets. That's where you win leagues. Keep clean sheets. Chelsea won 1-0 at Everton. They lost 1-0 last year, but they kept a clean sheet. And I think that's probably their strength this year. Koulibaly, Silva. I think they miss Rudiger, but I think our front three will terrorise them. So let's see.
Yeah, hopefully we can match them up. Like you said, whoever plays in that midfield will do a good job. I mean, Crackers, would you like to think that Basuma gets moved in, or do you think for a game like that against Chelsea, do you think it's too soon to transition him straight in? Because he did nearly score against Southampton at the weekend when he came on.
Yeah, he's got some confidence, the boy, hasn't he? I mean, it won't faze him go in there, and if he does get picked to start, it will not faze him at all. And he's got skill in his locker for days, so it won't be for the lack of confidence if Conte does start him. But Antonio sees these players day in, day out on the training pitch and along with his generals. And I'm sure they'll hold council and then they'll look at Chelsea and how they're set up and they'll watch the game that Chelsea played against Everton. And I'm sure that he'll pick personnel to think that he can win their personal battles. And if things aren't going right, we now have the depth of squad to change things up a bit. Bring a Richarlison on and try something a little bit different if that front three isn't working, and go 2 up top and maybe even a little bit of a battering ram. I mean, he looks like he would go and get involved, doesn't he? It's you spoke about the Battle of the Bridge, Hollie. It was a game I loved and hated in equal measure because it was a battle which you need to do, but we lost our heads.
Yeah.
So you've got to go and do what we've done in that game, but you've got to keep your head with it as well, because our heads just went in that game and we ended up giving away that lead back to 2-2. So you've got to take the spirit of that, but it has to be controlled, and I think that's where Conte might be the difference between Pochettino, who we all loved. And I mean, he done incredible things, gave us incredible memories, but I just think Conte has got that little something more where he can get into players' heads and just keep them controlled. So you can get that same passion, but with control right to the end, except for Romero, of course, who's a lunatic.
Here's a question with you. Would you think Levy should give Conte 3 years.
Oh, all day long.
I would, but it's
All
whether
day
he'd
long.
take it, man.
Well,
All day long.
I was in the ground on Saturday, and I spoke to a person that's on the board, and they said it's the first time for the last 6 months that he comes in smiling. He loves the place, and I said, "There, you need to, we need to build not for this year, for the next 5 years, and that's hopefully we can do it because
we've got him this season, haven't we? And an option of a year. I think we've got this year and one more year option on him.
Yeah, but Crackers, if he don't want to stay, he's not going to stay in that option.
No.
So just do it. Do what you got to do. And I think what will happen is Harry Kane has signed a new contract, and then you've got all the players that he wants, and he can change one or two every year. And we'll be up there. We'll be, winning trophies. And, I'm not bothered if we don't win a trophy this year. But, yes, I would love to win a trophy. But I want to split or win that top of the league, or I want to split them to say, we're back. And that,
I would I feel I'm kind of on the same, but I want to get closer to obviously City and Liverpool. I think for us to improve, we need to close that gap, but I just want a trophy. I think I was 8 the last time we won a trophy.
I think, Hollie, if you do get close to them too, then by default you're going to probably make some finals and win a couple. If you're that good, you're good enough to win a cup. So the league is everything. It's your barometer. Cups, you can have a little bit of luck. We shouldn't have never got anywhere near that Champions League final with City. We got lucky there, and then the last gasp against Ajax again. So however you dress the Champions League up, it's still a cup, and you can have a little a bit of luck in those. But your league tells you exactly where you are because of the amount of games you play. So if you are splitting those top two, by default, you'll make cup finals, I think.
Yeah. No,
last year, we beat Man City twice. Man City haven't scored in the last 5-6 games they played at the new stadium. All right? They haven't scored. We beat them home and away. We drew with Liverpool. We should have beat them both times. But our problem last season was we lost to Southampton. We lost to Wolves. We lost to somebody else.
Burnley away. Burnley away.
That's where you have to be better. Because the big games take care of themselves. All right, we got a few big games coming. We got 4 London derbies coming up by the end of, I think, September, October. So, we have... It's going to be manic, but we've got the Champions League in there. But we got to win like we did Saturday. Brush them aside. Southampton, brush them aside. And then, when we play Fulham, brush them aside. Because that's the games that we will, it's easy. No, it's not. But it can be if you attack it in the right mind. And the right mind is the big games take care of themselves. But the little games, you've got to be on your toes.
Yeah.
All of you. And that's what that will put us in the top.
No, that's a good point. And that's the thing. That was our downfall last season. Like you say, the silly games that we all thought we were going to brush them aside, we didn't. Yeah. And I think that's going to be the change this season. I hope it's the change this season. But yeah, like you said, I want to get closer to the top 2. If we can split them, even better. But I need the trophy.
No, if we can win them.
Win them. All right, win them. All right, Fairs. All right, I'll let you have this one. But no, a trophy for me. I just need a trophy. I think Darren's begging for a trophy as well, man.
See, if you'd have been my age, you would have seen loads of trophies.
All right, don't rub it in.
Hollie, I'm just glad I haven't got to go to Burnley away. It was it was uphill to the station both ways. I don't know how, but it was at -5. The rain was sideways, and we got beat 1-0. And it was the second day I've gone to the UK after leaving a 90 degrees Lanzarote with sunshine. And I was in Burnley with sideways rain about -5 and got beat 1-0. Oh, you imagine how pleased I was. I was like, what am I doing here? Why have I done this? Honestly.
Oh,
Anyway,
my.
good riddance, Burnley.
No, I am happy about that one. But no, like I say, I think obviously Southampton win was excellent. Loved it, obviously for personal reasons as well. And then obviously Chelsea, I think we're all feeling not even quietly confident. I think we are all feeling confident because this is the time to go and beat them.